It all started with a simple phone call. TerryAnn and I had a one-on-one to talk about having an interview with me about my business here to their consulting on her broadcast, Tea Time with TerryAnn. This is TerryAnn's YouTube channel where she interviews women who have overcome obstacles and became successful in their business. As we talked for an hour and a half, getting to know each other at a much deeper level, we realized how much we had in common and how well we could work together. So I suggested that we do coffee chats on Kansas City inspired coffee with Sheri, and we could talk about topics together.
But I thought, no. I would rather have some tea. Let's have some tea and some conversations.
So after the battle of the drinks.
But wait a minute, I've got an idea. Yin Yang. It's Mandarin for coffee with tea. Wouldn't that Sheri didn't like that at all.
Okay, so then we decided to compromise and call our Facebook group Conversations with Sheri and TerryAnn. We didn't care what others drank. Well, I did. You need to drink your coffee. But we wanted to include others in our discussion to learn and grow over time. But what topics could we discuss? During this crazy time of the pandemic this last year, I've been hosting online workshops and challenges for my business. So these topics, they would be great for starting points. And TerryAnn, she had topics that she used in her business. These fit right in and provided us our first series of conversation topics. It took off and it started growing with additional topics coming from our lives and our businesses and our experiences. And over the last 10 years, I've developed a really great following on social media. But how could I use this? With the world falling apart, being present, encouraging others online was important to both of us.
I have been serving behind the scenes as Zoom Master for international conferences for 5 years and serving as the unofficial self-appointed Zoom Master for District 22 this past year. I can bring technology to the table. To go live, we needed 3 things: good lighting, a good microphone and camera system, and a steady platform. We started with just the built-in camera and mic. Eventually, each of us purchased external units. Neither of us spent very much money. We practiced and were able to adjust our lighting, finding the right place behind the monitor to offer the best reflection. While I knew Zoom, I did not know Facebook Live. My only firsthand knowledge was being a guest on a live event, and that was over a year ago. With a little research, we found that Zoom had some limitations, though, to what she and I wanted. We created an account on a platform called StreamYard. This allows us to broadcast to 3 Facebook pages at the same time. When we are live, you can find us on Conversations with Sheri and TerryAnn, on Sheri's KC Inspired Coffee, and on my own Life Coach TA page. With StreamYard, we can add scrolling and or static notices for everyone. For example, we can add a post across the screen with the topic for the day. We can also then have a scrolling message underneath it asking our participants to join in the conversation through the comments. We have the added benefit of being able to share guest comments on the screen. We did try using virtual backgrounds one day. That caused some connectivity issues. Don't know what it was. We decided, for a while anyway, to just make sure that our desk area was cleared and made a professional appearance. Well, at least the part that's in front of the camera. Upcoming conversations are then scheduled as events on Facebook and shared to our audiences. After each live event is complete, we each upload the recording to our personal YouTube channels. This was another learning opportunity. creating, updating, and expanding our YouTube presence. Here we learned how to add the subscribe button to each video, how to share each other's YouTube page, and even to embed recordings on websites. With technology in place, we are almost ready to become Facebook Live on air talents.
So we had a plan, but we weren't sure how or what we wanted to do. We felt a little intimidated. So we decided to do it scared. That was our attitude. We hit the record button, doing a test run to see what would happen. We talked about women in leadership. Surprisingly, with both of us talking, it went on for over an hour. We determined that we might need to condense it down just a little bit, down to 30 minutes. So we decided on our first topic, mindset. We started with a 3-minute introduction video explaining who we were and what we were going to talk about. Our first Facebook Live was on September 16th, and we actually kept it to 30 minutes. Over time, though, we decided we needed a time or a prompt. You know, being Toastmasters, so we came up with the idea to use a red coffee cup as a clue to know when we only had 5 minutes left. We then wrapped up the topic and let our audience know what the next topic will be. Now, this has worked very well for both of us. We not only needed to have a topic, though, we needed an audience. So we started inviting others, setting up event pages, and sharing them all around Facebook. We even did a promotional video for our 20th episode 3 weeks ago. And now we are excited to soon be celebrating 6-month episode on March 17th. As we've grown doing these episodes as Toastmasters, we decided that we needed feedback and some evaluation from our audience. So we put together a survey for our audience asking for feedback, and we got much needed response.
At this time, we have completed 23 weekly Facebook Live conversations. What kind of a response did we get? We asked 4 questions. How do you watch the conversation? Live or the replay? What are we doing well? What topics would you like to see us discuss? And what can we do to improve? Through the responses, we learned that about as many people watched the replay as joined us live. Followers like the conversation style format that we're using, and that it allows those who watch to join the conversation through the comments. They like that we have specific topics each week and that the topics are timely. Comments verified we play well off of each other, we stay on topic, and we are time conscious. Thank you, Toastmasters, for that training. Several topics were offered up as suggestions and will be included in future conversations. What can we do to improve? It was suggested that we add a list of resources each week to allow the audience to continue to follow up on the topic. We're going to be doing some research and slowly bringing this about. Other than that, they feel that we are on the right track. They see us becoming more confident each week, and they encouraged us to continue.
By starting a Facebook page with weekly topics to support and grow our audience, we've learned how to be adaptable and how to deal with online audience and how to keep people engaged while we're online.
We learned how important it is to meet 20 to 30 minutes before we go live to make sure our equipment is okay and that we are on the same page with the topic that we're speaking on.
We also have learned how important it is to have our after meeting, after we go live, to do some reflecting on what went well and what things we need to improve. We also discussed what our next topic will be so that we can be prepared and to make sure to share it on social media, inviting everyone to the next episode.
We have grown to feel more comfortable on video and with an online audience. Unable to see facial expressions with this platform, we're learning to read the comments and to ask the audience participant to clarify the question or comment as we go along.
We are looking forward to growing our audience more, learning along the way, and we even decided to take this another step further by having an online Woman E-Summit the first part of June. We want to invite you, our Toastmaster family, to come join us next week, 9:30 on Wednesday, the 24th, for our 24th episode of Conversations with Sheri and TerryAnn, as we will be talking about the coaches you need in your life. If you can't make it next Wednesday at 9:30, don't worry. We have many opportunities for replays.
Our online presence has continued to grow, and we would like to invite you to join us. In the chat, you will find a PDF with links to the various social media and website addresses for each of us individually and for our joint Conversations with Sheri and TerryAnn.
We would love to thank you, our fellow Toastmaster family, for encouraging and teaching us to jump and get out of our comfort zone. Therefore, growing, learning, becoming better communicators and leaders. Because Toastmasters is where leaders are made. Madam Toastmaster.